Okay, we are back here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Price point is $375. Potential rental. Let's go check it out. Just recently renovated. Let's go see what they've hidden. Let's see if it's worth putting in an offer. So as we always start off every video, you always want to know your neighbors. So we always check out the neighbors on every single property just to make sure. Remember, renters want to live next to people that take care of their yards. They don't have boats parking in the front of the yard. In this particular instance, this community looks pretty awesome. One thing I did want to point out that's different maybe on this particular property, we have actually covered it in other properties, is how much yard is here. So you just got to take in consideration, this is a non-HOA property, so you're not going to get dinged by the HOA, but this is a pretty extensive amount of yard for a tenant to take care of. It is generally that the tenant takes care of the yard and the properties for everything that we manage. So again, this is just something that they're going to take care of. If they hired somebody, it's going to be additional, $100, a cut. So it's just something you're going to think of. Right off of the bat, let's look at this old AC. Very common for fix and flips to leave old water heater, old AC, old roof. In this case, the roof is a 2016, it's 2024, so not too bad, but that AC is going to go at any moment. You have to factor this in, especially with an understanding that you're going to have to replace this, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a year, but it has to go in the budget. Let's go to the backyard. I want to talk to you a little bit more about overall drainage issues. Of course, you can hear the neighbor playing music. This is something, it doesn't really matter what kind of music is being played, but again, you want to think about if a renter is coming here and they're going to be renting your property, are they going to be concerned with hearing this all day long? Something to consider when buying a property for a rental. Once you look at the drainage, this is all pretty flat, and everything actually drains either down here. It might be hard to see, there's a slope here, but it drains down that way, or down this way, or to the front of the house. This is a little higher in this house, which would be kind of a concern because the water is going to come off this house and potentially into your yard. If this was not built or going down, we would probably have an issue with it. But because it's going down, any water that came off this area is going to go right down and over that edge or down into the neighbors. So for drainage, we don't necessarily have any issues. There is no fence in this property, which means that pets are going to be a problem. It is something you could put in because they do have a fence over on this side, so you might be able to just do a half fence and attach, but just be very conscious that pets backyard, people that have pets want to have a place to put them. Let's go take a look inside. Okay, going inside the property, I can tell you already that it is very nicely renovated. This floor is an LVP. A floor that we love in any type of rental is basically indestructible. If you have pets, they're not going to scratch it. It's not going to wear like carpet is. As far as the spacing, which is very important, people need to be able to see where they're going to put their furniture. You have a nice spot there for a formal dining area. There is enough spot to put a kitchen, a couch, TV in the wall. All of this pretty much makes sense. The kitchen is smaller, but it is functional for this type of property. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Price point would be about $2,200 for a rental. Pretty nice, all new cabinets, new countertops, higher end finishes, granite, new appliances, which is also a nice thing when you're going to a rental. It is something that you don't want to have to come in and replace these maybe higher ticket items. Far as the overall layout of the property itself, we're going to have 2 bedrooms actually over here. So the kids, let's call it on this end, with the adults on this end, split. That is very attractive for a lot of people. Nobody wants to have the master next to their kids' bedrooms. Again, the bedrooms make good sense. They actually have a high ceiling, windows, plenty of light. You can easily fit a queen size bed, king size bed in here, no problem. As we go into the master, tub, fully renovated shower. I like what they actually did here. They just did the plastic inserts. They didn't do any kind of tile here. That's to keep the budget down, but they still put the nice sort of glass frameless look shower, which makes this look very attractive, even though it's not necessarily a very high-end finish. Very well, very, very good job. New toilet in there, which is actually, sounds weird, but a good selling point. A lot of the old bathrooms have these little micro toilets that are old and dingy. Very nice that they renovated that. Cabinets make a lot of sense, modern, nice double sinks, good finishes. And then as far as the lighting as well, everything is upgraded in this particular bathroom. So very nice so far. If I walk over here, let's go check out the bedrooms. So one of the things we're looking at in the bedroom, obviously it's just 4 walls, is this functional to put a bed in here? You'll notice a lot of times with kids' rooms that it can be so small that you couldn't even put like a single king size or a single like twin bed inside the bedroom. As you can see in this area, or might be hard for you to see, you can easily put a queen bed in here and a dresser. You'd have actually no problem whatsoever. And that is going to be the exact same for this bedroom over here. So for that case, I definitely like it. And then in the closet, for the closet standpoint, you know, it's not a huge closet, but perfectly fine for a younger family. You know, think children in their, you know, middle school, maybe high school, perfectly fine. These 2 bedrooms right here share this particular bath. And, you know, again, the finishes are fine. All new stuff, new lighting, new. Very, very good. Now, because this is a flip, what we want to look at is what are the things that they didn't do right that they potentially could be hiding. This is going to be hard for you to see, but it is something I noticed because I realized that this shower enclosure isn't new. You can just tell the way it was sealed to the wall. It's not a new application. So my question is why isn't this faded or dingy or anything else like you would normally see in a tub like that? And I'm gonna go real close, which is actually why I wanted to do this video today, but you can see actually here in the lighting, and I'm gonna run slowly, you can see here where it gets dull. The reason, guys, is because they've actually gone through and painted this shower to get rid of the dingy. You couldn't have come in here and bleached this. You couldn't have done anything to actually fix this. You'd actually had to replace this. Because they wanted to make it look fresh and new, they've actually painted it. This is the first time I've actually seen this. You can tell there's some painting here in the bar. You can see some painting here. This is the first time I've actually seen this, and I'm interested in how this is gonna hold up. Because of this, I'm automatically gonna put this in a complete replacement as far as if I was purchasing this house. Imagine putting a tenant in here, having the hot water hit, having them put bleach on here, chemicals or whatever, and then having that paint, you can actually see it even better right here, having that paint actually start to chip off. As that starts to chip off, the tenant is immediately gonna want this replaced. So it's definitely something we're gonna think about, and it's kind of a really big red flag. So we'll keep that in mind. Going over here, another thing that I saw as we were walking the properties, and one of the key things is windows. Now, most of these windows do actually look decent. These aren't wood windows that you'll find here in Georgia. These are like an aluminum window. We have not opened all of those. If we were gonna be making an offer on this property, we would actually open and shut every single one of these windows because replacing windows can be very expensive. These would normally be dingy, yellow colored, just like that tub. Look what they did here. They actually painted, and you can see, maybe you can't, it might be hard for you to see. I'll see if I can get a better light here, but you can see the drips that are actually coming out this window, and you can see parts of the window that are actually damaged that were then painted over. And if you look closely, you might be able to see this, but you can see that they're actually painted shut. So if I open up these windows or I was trying to maneuver the screen, I'm gonna have problems. As I move this up and down, as I use these up and down, this is gonna continue to break. And the paint is gonna chip off over time. Again, this is something that the tenant is gonna have a big problem with because they're gonna come in, it's gonna start to chip, it's not gonna look great, and they're gonna wanna see replacement. This window, and I apologize for not having good light here, guys, but this one is actually even worse. Let's see if I can get here a little bit closer. And I mean, this just has drips all down it. Again, it might be hard to see, We'll see if we can blow this out in post-production so you can see it better, but there's drips all down this window. So two things that I don't necessarily really like about this particular property that caught our attention. So let's just recap. The property itself makes a lot of sense. It has really, really great sort of finishes in that, you know, the colors make sense. They put nice cabinets in, they put nice granite in. However, they still went cheap in a couple of areas like the windows and like the tub. Usually this wouldn't necessarily really matter except for the problem that it's not like they just left the old tub so it doesn't look that great. It's that they tried to cover it up. And by covering it up, they've made some finishes inside the property that could be a catastrophic problem later on down the road. If it was an old tub that just kind of looked a little bit dingy, I can put a shower curtain in front of it. I might even show it like that. I might even rent it out like that just to give the perception that it looks a lot better than it is. But that's a thing that I don't have to solve. It's a little dingy. The tenant might say, hey, it's a little dingy, I don't like it, but it's not gonna cause any major issues. However, being that it's painted, when that paint starts to chip, you're gonna have half old, half chipped. They're gonna be worried about, is this paint toxic? They're gonna be like, is my toddler's in the tub? They're gonna worry about eating paint chips. It's gonna look extremely bad. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that paint is going to eventually chip as people start to use it, as you get the hot water going, as you get the bleach or whatever it is that they're gonna be cleaning with it. I think it's gonna show all day long. So big problem. And again, the windows, even though the windows look good, them having being painted over chipped is a big problem. If you buy properties, they can seem like they're actually a really good value. They can seem like they're really, like it's all gonna work out. But these two very small things make this property a 100% no-go for us because of the problems that they can actually pose for later on down the road. There's gonna be other properties out there that are gonna be just as nicely renovated with good floor plans that aren't gonna have these particular issues. When you're buying real estate, you have to pay attention to the details. Don't just look at the surface things. Don't just look at the nice, beautiful finishes. You have to almost want to go in to find problems. I don't want to replace the AC. I don't want to fix the windows. I don't have to repair the tub. 100% no go.